How's it going, YouTube? Yesterday, we put out a video talking about the EWC, or the Esports World Cup, 60 million prize pool. If you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you guys go check it out. But we've got some unsettling news today as how it pertains specifically to Rocket League. Something people aren't going to be too happy about. If you guys haven't seen the news, there is an insider that has posted a graphic about what the prize pool breakdown may be. And as you guys can see on the top hand right, Rocket League at a measly $250K, $250,000 versus what it's been in the past, which is $2 million. And there's been a lot of discussion on the timeline of why and why isn't this happening, what's going on, what the weirdness is all about. And we're happy to tell you guys that this, from my sources, is pretty accurate. A lot of people talking about how this one is actually in line with what is probably happening. But there's been some people that are pretty confused about this. The number one question has been, why would the production partner influence it? If you guys didn't see my tweet, I put out and I said, hey, 2 million to 250K for Rocket League. Sources are saying this report is accurate. May have something to do with EFG. If you guys don't know EFG, it's ESL Faceit Group. They are the old production partner of like 3 or 4 year relationship with Psyonix Epic. Is no longer. Now we have Blast Premier. And I said that might be a reason for it. And then I also said, hey, others are also stating that it's Epic, the ones capping the prize pool, which is odd considering the cap is just shy of their prize pool for World Championships of previous years. In the past, the World Championship was 2.1 million. Gamers 8 was 2 million as a prize pool. They're also, from what it sounds like, capping how many teams can compete. There's people asking, hey, why would the production partner influence it? I'm confused on how that works. And I said, hey, we'll talk about it here in just a bit. For those that are unaware, you now have what would have been your same production partner who is running your World Championship and all your majors and everything else, also running and being the promotion party behind this. And it is beneficial if you have your production partner putting on third-party events that keep them afloat, that keep them happy, keep them successful, because it is also going to further provide opportunities, resources, network for your own. If we have this EFG company, or ESL as everybody knows them, is the one running this system or running this production, and it goes extremely well, they're the same people that are doing your production and things are going well. Those are opportunities, that's experience, those are people you can network with. Those are things that will allow them, that are beneficial for both ends. Money-wise, like some people may see a large prize pool, it is purely a marketing thing. Big number usually turns more heads. And we've seen already so far this season of RLCS that they are taking a step back financially. Now, if it is Epic, and very likely Epic, the one that is providing the finances for this, the way that it has worked is at the beginning of this season, multiple parties put in a bid to run the RLCS. I'm sure EFG put one in. They probably thought that they had it locked in because they were trending in such a good direction. And they're like, you know what? We're going to charge and we're going to make Epic pay even more. And these are the things we're going to do with that additional money. Blast probably came in and says, we're going to do more for less money. We're going to still provide you good quality product, but we're going to do it under a tighter and more restricted budget. To which Epic probably looks at it and goes, well, shoot, we can't really argue with that. Like, you guys are going to do everything that's promised in these, but we're also going to do it for way less. What those exact figures are, I'm just speculating, but that's usually the way that it works. They probably got underbid. They probably got underbid and we said, hey, we're going to do it. We're going to do just as good of a job, if not better, for less money. And that's tough for Epic to pass up, especially with the state of the industry right now. So the reason why the partner could possibly play a factor is because they were the previous partner that was working on RLCS. They're also the same partner. They also have selfish interest in this because the funding behind the Esports World Cup is the exact same funding that is going to ESL. They're owned by the same company. And now that is competitors, probably not in their best interest to help their competitor continue to be successful and overshadow what is their own events. This prize pool is just shy of what the majors are. And it's the same thing for the FNCS. The FNCS, Fortnite, same thing. It's just shy of what they have for their event. So it is very, very likely that those things happened. Do you really believe that EFG asked for more money? Yes. I would not be surprised if EFG wanted a bigger budget to continue to make improvements towards RLCS. They may have tried to build around certain things, and rather than refinement to being like, hey, we're going to reduce some talent rates, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, they're like, hey, we can maybe get more money out of it. I would not be surprised if EFG asked for more, because Normally, when you work for a company for an extended period of time and you build rapport and you get a flow of things, that value is worth something. I don't have to ask, or I don't have to go through this awkwardness of like, oh, who are you? What's your first name? How does this work? It's all done. You already have that rapport. So yeah, I can expect a pay raise year after year. I would assume so, unless they lock in an extended deal. So I would not be surprised by that by any means. Now, there's some other questions on the timeline about where certain teams are and how certain things are applying. Why does PUBG have such... I hate to break it to you guys who only live in the world of Rocket League. There's some titles that are significantly larger in the day-to-day operations of Rocket League. Obviously, Counter-Strike is massive. League of Legends is massive. Dota 2 has their compendium prize pool where it's in the upwards of 30 to 40 million because they put an item in game and then all the money from that item goes towards the prize pool. It was like 34 or 33 million a couple of years back. Like, it's insane. But you're talking purely player base. Steam charts alone show Counter-Strike, Dota 2, and PUBG as number 3. It's up there. If you take all of the stats of all the games, which I said this in a previous video, in my Rocket League is Healing video, Rocket League, if you take all the player base from what you have on the Epic launcher, what you have on Steam, console, Switch, everything, it averages around 500,000. So it's right in that area around PUBG and stuff like that, which is pretty dang solid. Now, the difference, though, is the accessibility that games like PUBG and PUBG Mobile have. With us all having these devices, it is massive. It is absolutely massive over in Eastern countries. All the Eastern continents and all the Eastern countries that play, it is absolutely incredible. PUBG in particular, to my knowledge, when it was a couple of years back when I was looking, put in like $30-some million into their prize pools for the year. It is huge. The mobile game's accessibility, the skins that they sell, all the stuff being in-game on your phone, they make a ton of money from doing. So zero surprise there. Also zero surprise with Dota 2 being the size that is. There is no surprise there. Arena Free Fire is another mobile ARPG, or not ARPG, another mobile BR. Not too familiar with Honor of Kings. Teamfight Tactics is a very popular title. More people actually play Teamfight Tactics and non-ranked like ARAMs in League of Legends than they do the actual pro scene. And in ranked, like, there's some other factors in here that are pretty large, but you're talking these 4 titles are all by Riot with League of Legends. There's no surprise for that in me. You've got other people that are asking, hey, weren't they touting a $60 million prize pool? This is only $30.5 million. That's because of the way that the club allocation is done. While this is just for qualifiers and main event, they have $20 million alone going towards the club championship, where teams that perform the best out of the top 16 will be allocated that money. So that's where the difference is in that. I wouldn't say it's like pure speculation, but it's not surprising that Epic not only is reducing prize pools for obvious reasons to reduce costs that they have to put in because it's not officially endorsed, but the limitations are set in place because they don't want it to overshadow what their own event is. And yes, it's a different format. Yes, it's a different process, but that's the point. They never want to overshadow their premier product, which is the RLCS, with a third-party organizer. In my opinion, this does change some things because there's a lot of people talking about, well, what about the frustrations of less tournaments and there's only 6 months out of the year that we get to compete and all this stuff. This is a prime opportunity for third-party organizers. If you're an esports org, if you are a third-party TO, and you have the ability to pull in some sponsorship dollars and partner revenue, you can leverage. Use Space Station as a prime example because Space Station's absolutely killing it. What they did with their content creator of Jinxie, they found a large sponsorship with it. Leverage his likeness and his brand ability, create a tournament, and do some stuff. You're seeing OG do that. You're seeing Luminosity do that with a 15K prize pool with Amazon. There is opportunities in the space right now where Epic doesn't have to, nor do they want to spend the money, but there is opportunities in the schedule for these organizations to make an impact with their creators and everything else to really turn some heads and win over the community for essentially free. Hey, we are in this blank canvas. There's nothing going on. We're going to come in with a unique format, a unique tool, a unique viewership, and there's nothing else going on. So it's nothing but W's. There's some opportunity in the space despite the negativity we're seeing. Maybe that's just me trying to be optimistic. Normally I'm pretty pessimistic as a person, or at least I was. But there is opportunity here for people to really go and make an impact. But I'm curious on what you guys think. Does it suck that the pros are now out a lot of money. I mean, you're talking what was 2 million is now 250K. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It's still $250,000, but that's a big hit. That's a very big hit. And I assume most of it is just because they don't want to be overshadowed. Does it make sense that in the past they were more lenient to it because it was the same production partner? Likely. Whether it's one or the other, whether it's specifically one or the other, who's to say? But I do know a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, some of the limitations they're applying, and as Chrome states, 100%, it's still a land worth going to. When there's other things not going on, that's still 250K with a 50K MVP bonus, with some of the best hospitality options. There's not as many opportunities out there, so of course you're going to want to go to this one. That's all I'm saying. And orgs are being paid to go anyway, so what's the difference? Either way, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Always curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, just come join us, twitch.tv/Lawler, or here on YouTube, youtube.com/LawlerTV, where we stream live at the same time now. But as always, hit up the socials down below. Any questions, comments, concerns, love to hear them. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.